Ibrahim, Chair of Health and Wellness Research Alliance, professors, associate professors, doctors, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very good morning to everyone. Welcome to our workshop on how to write a good review paper with snippets of SLR and how to use AI tools and Chatgpt as your aid. My name is Hafifi bin Jamal, and I'll be your master of ceremony for today's event. We are excited to have you here with us today to learn more about the art of writing a great review paper. During today's workshop, we'll be covering a wide range of topics related to review paper writing, including the use of systematic literature reviews, SLRs, the role of AI tools in the process, and how Chatgpt can be used as an aid. We have an expert and several facilitators in these areas joining us throughout the workshop, and you'll be able to hear firsthand about their experiences and insights. You will also have the chance to see Chatgpt in action, our AI assistant who can help you with a range of tasks related to review paper writing. I encourage you to take this advantage of this opportunity to learn from our speakers, to ask questions, and to engage in the hands-on activities that we have planned for you. But before we begin, I would like to invite Associate Professor, Engineer Technologist Dr. Roshanida Ibrahim, Chair of Health and Wellness Research Alliance, to deliver the introduction speech. Please welcome.
Thank you, Mr. PP. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning. First of all, I would like to welcome everyone to our program today, which is full housing. Alhamdulillah. Our respected guest speaker, Professor Dr. Naomie Salim. So, siapa yang kenal Prof. Naomie? She's very and always passionate about sharing my knowledge and experiences with us. Welcome, Prof. Naomie. Thank you very much. I'd like to acknowledge all the facilitators to our publication workshop after this talk. We have Professor Dr. Zoraida Madun with that. Thank you, Prof. Associate Professor Dr. Zainul Akmal Zakaria. Also Associate Professor Dr. Tan Chiwi, Associate Professor Dr. Ali Dawakiran, and Dr. Nur Hafizah Abdul Khalid. We thank you for your time and your contribution. And to the participants, believe me, it's not easy to get the facilitators actually. So please utilize this opportunity to improve your manuscripts, okay? Inshallah. So, and also I'd like to welcome to all the participants of the publication workshop series and all the distinguished guests present today. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as we know, writing a review paper can be a daunting task that require extensive knowledge. Of course, we know that we need all the analysis from the existing literature review. So one of the approaches used for this purpose is SLR. Okay, and however, the latest trend shows that AI tools are increasingly being used. Okay, can assist the analysis in the literature, yeah, and also to prepare a literature review. So these tools can help identify relevant keynotes and themes. So in addition, the advanced chatbot, Chatgpt, can also aid in writing the review paper. So to understand more about the significance of the systematic and structured approach to writing a review paper using these tools, we are honored to have Professor Dr. Naomie as our esteemed guest speaker today. So her valuable insight and knowledge will help us in producing a comprehensive and insightful review paper using AI tools. And lastly, I would like to express my gratitude to those who have participated and contributed actively to this event, especially the committee members from RA and also DBCRI office. And I hope that the skills and insight gained from this session will assist you in your review paper writing journey after this. Thank you very much, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello.
Thank you, Dr. Roshanida, for that welcoming speech. Before I move on to the next slot, let me introduce our speaker for today's talk. Professor Naomie binti Sanid is a professor at UTM's Faculty of Computing and the director of UTM Big Data Center. She specializes in developing new algorithms to improve data mining and has been involved in 57 research projects with a total amount of nearly 5 million ringgit. She has published over 400 papers, including the review papers in Q1 journals. Prof. Naomie also has received numerous awards, including the 2020 Malaysia Top Research Scientist Award by the Academy of Science Malaysia, and has benefited industries such as Johor Corporation, JCorp, Malaysia Marine and Heavy Engineering, and Malaysian Administrative Modernization and Management Planning Unit. She has supervised more than 50 PhD students, and she was a fellow of Japan Society for Promotion of Science. Now, without further ado, let us welcome our speaker to continue with her sharing session. Give her a round of applause.
At the quarter, but it is so. What's the years of the shadows? Hit. Is a potential. And she calling is at the two. That's into the subway you go about into the sub into sit there at the afternoon. You decide about it. After they that. It's true, and it's not hard to when I was reached. A pack ready. Oh, we were too far. That's bad. Wait. Well, so he, but time. No, I keep it up. There should be a little bit in the same place. They actively had it. You could leave it. Here. But what there's into them. But it just haven't knows that they tired. So the other thing is
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to everyone. Today I'm going to talk on how you can write a good review paper based on my experience. It might not be the best, you might know more than me, but let's share what I know about writing review papers.
read.
Correct.
But the paper.
Okay, so I hope by the end of the session, you'll be able to develop your own strategies to write good review papers and also have your paper to potentially publish in good journals. And I'm also going to share with you AI tools, including Chatgpt, on how you can write review papers and analyze papers that are in the literature. And we makes my oriented and right? So this is the outline of my presentation. So first we're going to share about the motivation and strategies for writing review papers, and then there are 3 types of review papers. I'm going to share with you on how to write conventional review paper and also thematic research review, and also review papers that have experimental comparison between the techniques that are in the literature. And we are also going to share with you on some tools that can help you write review paper. In fact, quite fast, but don't rely on the tools too much, because it's your input and your analysis of the literature rather than the AI tools like Chatgpt. Okay, next. Okay, so before we start, let's be on the same board, on the same understanding of what review paper is. Actually, a review paper is a concise and is a compact and concise account of the current progress in specific topic. So what are the current progress? When we mean current progress, it's not something that is going. It must be something that is very current and updated. And you have sufficient and in-depth analysis of the literature. You have to interpret the literature. rather than just summarizing what is in the literature. Yeah. So when we want to write review paper, you have to find what are the papers that have been published in the area that you wish to write on. That you wish to write about. But we must make sure that we do our own interpretation and in-depth analysis of what has been published. And it must be a critical synthesis, meaning that you have to provide everything critically, and publish it and present it in a way that is from your own viewpoint of what has been published. So it's not just a descriptive summary of what has been published in the literature. You will not get your paper published if it's just a summary of what has been published in the area. And then it's not just a report or recap of the important information that you have found, but what we need here for you to be able to publish in a good journal is to write a critical review of what have been published. And so that is very important. So the emphasis is on the interpretation of the primary literature. When I say primary literature, it's not a review that someone else has done and you reinterpret the review of someone else. It's not just interpreting the review that has been done by someone else, but it's also it's interpretation of primary literature that you yourself read, and also you must synthesize or reorganize or reshuffle the information. We need that when you read, you cannot just present it as an annotated bibliography, one extract after another of the papers that you have read. But you must have your own analytical framework. We need that. You must reorganize what has been published in your own way, from your own perspective. So the evaluation of the literature leads logically to some research question. That maybe you want to provide a new approach or new perspective from the literature that can simulate further research. That is what we want. So what have been published? How do you interpret it? How do you analyze it from your own critical point of view? And then from what you have found, what do you think need further research? What is your conclusion about what has been published? That is what we want from a good review paper. Next. Okay, so basically when we say literature, it's a collection of all scholarly writings on a topic. When we say scholarly writings, writing that have been trusted, that is trusted and has been peer reviewed by scholars in the community of knowledge. That's why you cannot just include in your paper something that has been published without peer reviewed, without having been evaluated. Whatever you include in the literature review, what we mean by literature here, is something that has been published and can be trusted by your community of scholars, communities of people who develop knowledge in the area. Next. So, it's a good way, review paper is a good way when you intend to start the new research area. For new students or lecturers who are starting to do research. So first, you would want to write a review paper. Because basically, for you to write review paper, you do not need data collection or experimental results. Most of the review paper do not need experimentation or experimental results unless you are doing the third type of review paper. That is review paper plus experimental. Okay, and then for lecturers, even if you do not have grants or research students, and you can still produce review papers. Next. Okay, so we have the whole R&D chain. From fundamental research to applied research until you do technology development and demonstration, and then until you do product commercialization, and then you market your research product. Review paper normally is in the beginning of when you want to start your research. You do a review of whatever has been published in the literature. This towards the start. And now for publisher, for you to propose, or for you to write a proposal, the grant proposal, and you not only need to search the literature, but also you have to do patent search. because sometimes industry, they do not only publish things in the literature, but also they patent the product. And that's why for Malaysian, we also need to do patentization and to see what the industry is doing and where the industry is going, and so that we know whatever we want to do is actually up to date. Next. Okay, so for students, when I teach writing papers in general, normally I will talk about how you can do a publication agenda alongside your research study. So review paper normally we do in the first semester. We do critical analysis of the literature. We have to have our own framework of analysis. Maybe we produce a new taxonomy of the research in the area. Maybe we want to do specific review. For example, maybe I'm going to my area is databases and computing. So my examples mostly from computing area. So for example, if you want to do specific review, people have done review on database integration techniques. But you can do a specific review. Database integration techniques using semantic technology, for example, or semantic database integration, or fuzzy database integration. So you do a specific review, not general review, but a specific review in the area that you wish to study. That can be done in the first semester. Maybe you have certain hypotheses about the literature. I'm going to talk more on this. You see that this technique can be used, for example, database integration. We can use semantic technology to integrate database. So we prove the hypothesis through literature. That can also be done. Meaning that not only doing the experiment, but by analyzing the literature, you will see whether you have a point on proving a certain hypothesis from the literature. And then you can do a little pilot study based on the literature. For example, there are a number of techniques for doing the database integration. You classify or you group the techniques. Then you have your own benchmark and your own evaluation criteria. So you pick one from each group of the techniques from the literature, and then you can do a pilot study to see whether which technique can actually perform better for a particular evaluation point of view. So you can also do that in the first semester. Not your own technique, but mostly what are in the literature. Next. Okay, so this is example of one of my students who have published a literature review in her first semester. Next. And all these are published in Q1 journals. Next. Okay. So normally when we write a review paper, normally it has very low immediacy index. What is immediacy index? The average number of citations that the paper is going to have in the year it is published. Normally very low. Very low citation in the year it is published. But later on, the citation is going to slowly rise to peak many years after the publication. If you search my name, for example, many of my review papers are now the top cited papers among all the papers that I have published. So the absolute number of citations to reviews is usually very high. So it's good if you want to have a career in academia where we need a lot of citations. So writing review paper is a good way to have a lot of citations, because the accumulation of citation after many years will be very high compared to experimental papers. Next. So these are examples of review paper. So first, detection of review spam. For example, this is one of my papers, of our papers. So normally we categorize. Okay, there are many spam detection techniques for opinion mining. For example, people give opinion in social media. So how do we detect whether the reviews are spam or not? So when we read the papers, we categorize what are the spam detection techniques. What are spam detection models? We categorize the model and we group it into 3 groups. Okay, and then we look at methods. For example, the 3 groups are groups that actually detect spam from the reviews, detect spam from the individual, or is the group spammer. So there are 3 methods here. What that this is how we analyze the literature. We just do report, okay, this is first technique, second technique, third technique. Yeah, normally the minimum you can do is categorize or group, yeah, the techniques that have been published in the literature. Yeah. Then, yeah, we discuss, this is very minimal, but still in Q1. This is not a very, very good review paper, but still managed to have itself, still managed to be published in Q1 journal. Yeah? So, we just discuss the different strengths and weaknesses, yeah, of the different techniques here. So, which context, yeah, need what type of spam review spam detection techniques. Yeah, so we discuss the strength and weaknesses, and we discuss the context, yeah, of spam, yeah, and then we see which technique is good for what context. Yeah, so that is our word analysis of the literature, not just listing what is in the literature. Next. Yeah, so it always end with a conclusion from your own perspective. Of course, before you conclude, you have to argue. Yeah, and people have to believe your argument. That is what we want from a review paper. And you have to argue from what is in the literature. You have to analyze, yeah, and then you conclude. Yeah, so that is the review paper. It has to have a conclusion at the end of the review paper. Yeah. Okay. Second, yeah, review of deep learning methods for semantic segmentation of remote sensing imagery. Yeah. So in this case, yeah, we separate the different deep learning methods, yes, for semantic segmentation of remote sensing images. Yeah. So but this paper begin with summary of fundamental deep neural network architectures, yeah, and then reviews the most recent developments of deep learning method, yeah, that is used for semantic segmentation of remote sensing imagery. Yeah, and then, yeah, we look at, the major challenges faced by researchers in semantic segmentation of remote sensing imagery, and we summarize the innovative development to address the challenges. Yeah. So we look at the performance gap. Yeah. So, there are, ways to handle the non-conventional unstructured point cloud and rich spectral imagery. Yeah. But the performance of the methods on average is inferior to that of satellite imagery, for example. Yeah. So what are the performance gap? Yeah. Why the performance gap happen? And why the performance gap exists? In this case, the performance gap exists because the data is very few. It's not very high for deep learning, and you need to have a lot of data because you only have small set of data. Yeah. That is why you face problems. Yeah. So in particular, the limited non-conventional remote sensing data set with label is an obstacle to developing and evaluating new deep learning methods. Yeah. So again, we have evaluation of what is in the literature. Yeah. So what are the deep learning methods? What are the deep learning methods that can apply to this area? Yeah. What are the research, the obstacle and the problems? Yeah. And why we think the problem exists. Yes, with the current techniques. So it always has proportion. And all these are Q1 papers, good papers. Next. Okay, this is review paper 3 here. Edge computing, yeah, features and resource virtualization. Yeah, okay. So from here, this paper actually investigate features of cloud and edge computing paradigm. Yeah. So how they evaluate? They evaluate from the features used and also the previous perspective. Yeah. Okay. So when you want to review a group, you have to have a way to group it. Yeah. So this is how they analyze the edge computing and cloud, the edge and cloud computing paradigms here. And then, yeah, what they do is they investigate, the techniques, the paradigms from virtualization of computing resources and networking resources. Yeah, in the edge computing. So they analyze it from that point of view. Yeah. Then they map the state-of-the-art studies to the provided taxonomy for virtualized resources from performance perspective. So when you have edge computing, you have to virtualize the resources, for example. Yeah. So yeah, they do a taxonomy of how virtualization of resources can be done. Yeah, and then they map the state-of-the-art studies. to the taxonomy. So it always has a conclusion. The lesson from the review are that the selection of virtualization technique, placement and migration of virtualized resources rely on the requirements of IoT services. And as a result, there is a need for prioritizing the requirements, integrating different virtualization techniques and exploiting hierarchical based cloud architecture. So from the analysis of the literature, the author make a certain conclusion. Okay, next. Okay, so for the review paper, you see the operative review, right? So first, that was the paper just now. It has introduction about cloud and edge computing paradigms, the different paradigms. So it do feature analysis of the paradigm, feature-based and pillar-based. And then they study the technique from virtualization of computing resources point of view. In terms of, for example, richness of resources, IoT application requirement, and so on. Then they study the performance-oriented virtualization of the mentioned technique, in terms of the visualization and so on. And then they study in terms of the virtualization of the network resources, and then further research direction. And so you study, and then you evaluate from different perspectives. So you study what is in the literature, and then you evaluate the techniques that has been published from different point of view, regarding what is needed by the researchers and the practitioners, from what has been published there. Okay, next. Okay, you can also do a merge concept review. Merge concept review, for example, here, people have studied or have reviewed about COVID-19 and infectious disease. How people fight COVID-19 and infectious disease. But we can also look at how sentiment analysis is used in fighting COVID-19 and infectious disease. So that is why we combine two areas. You don't just do review on sentiment analysis technique, or review on COVID-19, or infectious disease, for example, detection, but you combine the two. So that in this paper, it highlights, how sentiment analysis and opinion mining is used for COVID-19 and other infectious disease. And then they categorize the sentiment analysis and infectious disease. And then they look at, what are the challenges and motivation of using sentiment analysis for infectious disease, and the different application of how sentiment analysis is used in mitigating the infectious disease. So that point of view, you push two things, to concept, to review, in a review. Next. Okay, this is another sample review paper. This is our paper. So it's about service chatbot. This has been published before Chatgpt. So what we do is we study the different techniques used in service chatbot. For example, how we understand the dialogue of what are the techniques used in understanding the dialogue of human, and what are the techniques used in responding to the dialogue of humans. Then we look at what are the data sets used, for what are the data sets used for training the service chatbots, and then what are the evaluation techniques used. And so it's a simple paper, but has been published in a Q1 journal. Next. Okay, so now you want to write review paper. All of you here, you are here because you have the intention to write good review paper. So first of all, do you have idea on what to write about the review? Your idea. Okay? So if you have idea, you have to ask yourself, you have to search online databases, whether the same review has been published or not. You subscribe to our library, you can use Web of Science, Scopus, or even Google to see whether such review has been published. For those who are doing research in health sciences, health related and with health related outcome, you can use Prospero. I'm going to show a bit. Prospero. So you have to study whether the topic has been reviewed before or not. Allow me to show you Prospero. So I'm going to go, to the computer to demonstrate certain things. Okay, this is example Prospero, right? Okay, Prospero, for example, you have, you want to search something, yeah? Eh?
Okay, the title Chira. We think the price. Right, Ibrahim is our. We spike with the plate and it brought the price. But they was that.
Okay, that is Prospero, right? You can search Prospero, yeah? Wait,
It's 6 on your prescription. I had it for 1,000. But it's just so federal. Yes, it is. Or so that is the place in it was. It's away. What? That is instead. The boss is the big stint. That's it. Okay, it's not me. I don't go back to them. And the others, the no, the changes in some station. Okay, good. Something. Other good thing. But not. It's a bit. Rush it. We talk. We check. We hit you with John. But that was.
because, it's not relatively, and anyone can help, can come here. To come. Okay, okay, so from the Prospero, you can search, for example, sentiment analysis, because we cannot see from our PC.
Books up. And just start floating back. You should have spent the stuff to the top guy. First. Then with
Okay, okay, so you can see here.
there's freedoms. He asked you and the shop position.
Okay, you can see here, first that has been published here regarding sentiment analysis, for example, so this is example, so it's about all the systematic literature review that has been published here, and then the status here of the review, whether it has been published or the review is ongoing and so on, so you have to see whether people have published or not.
Relatively just kind of the picture. And that I was so gallery. And the bed and clothing it. Hold the strength of that. The college taught it. I lagged out first. That's nothing. She didn't do. We taught it. But the people. Even I said you had to do it right interviewed. See the lecture. And I was swimming. And it was this and I ran. And she went and she this. So
Okay, so if the review, sorry, I forgot my yes and no. Okay, so if the topic has not been reviewed before, so you can do other types of the review. Actually, I want to say right, and right, tak cukup tempat. Takut pakai bahasa Inggeris komen. Okay, and so you can write conventional review or write systematic review or write experimental based review, which I'm going to explain here. But if the topic has been reviewed before, you want to write certain review, but the topic has been reviewed before. When you search, it has been reviewed before. So you have to ask yourself, is there a rationale for a new review in the area? So maybe there are new quantitative elements that you want to include in the review. Then it can be another review, a unique perspective. Or maybe the previous review major new studies that has not been included. For example, we do the systematic literature review on Chatgpt just now. But we haven't included, for example, the generative and pre-trained transformer model that is used for Chatgpt and many other tools now. So those are major studies that we have excluded in our previous review. So someone else might want to do review on service check what again. Yeah, because the new review might include new studies that was not covered by the previous review. Yeah, or maybe you have new evaluation perspective. For example, you want to do summarization techniques, automatic summarization techniques. Yeah, but it hasn't, from the way it is studied, it hasn't, reviewed the techniques based on, for example, the readability of the review, for example. So you might want to review the automatic summarization technique from a new perspective, a new evaluation point of view. So that can be another review. So even if it's the same, but you can also write the same review if you have reasons or rationale for doing the review again, for doing a review in the same topic. Next. Okay, so now we go to the ways on how we can write different types of review papers. Next first is conventional review. Next. Okay, next. Okay, so I'm going to explain here based on one of our papers here about plagiarism detection on how we can write conventional reviews. Next, you can search this paper and if you want. Next. Okay, so this is the process of writing review paper. First, initialization. So you have a topic in mind. You want to find articles from both journals that are related to behavior. And then when you read here, you build your conceptual framework of the area. It's like the mind map of the area. Then you choose, for example, that might be a lot. So you might want to zoom in into a particular sub-area. If it's too wide, you zoom in again, until it's very narrow and focused. So you want to find issues and challenges in the focus area. So you just go review in that sub-area, in that focus area. Then you find fresh perspective review or report on new ideas that have not been investigated. For example, there are certain challenges in that particular area. And you see how people have addressed it. So maybe the review is on different challenges. There is the existing review. So you might want to look at the challenges in that particular sub-area. And you want to review the existing technique based on that particular perspective of particular challenges in the sub-area. Maybe in terms of practice and so on. So you zoom in. And then after that, you develop your novel thesis statement as the focus of your review. What techniques, can certain techniques be used to solve this problem, to tackle this issue? What are the techniques? How good are the current techniques in solving or tackling certain particular issues in the sub-area? More on this later. Then you develop your thesis statement. So that will be the focus of your review. So you are going to do review from that perspective. Okay. Next, you prepare your analytical framework. So you know what you want to prove from the literature. So you dissect the current paper, you read the paper, and understand the structure and arguments in the current paper. Then you develop your own analytical framework. I'm going to explain later on this. I'm going to give an example. So you develop your own analytical framework of your paper. Then as you read, you cut and paste all the ideas from the existing literature into your framework. The framework is like your outline. After you read, after you have your outline, when you read the paper one by one, you cut paste into the specific parts in your outline. So maybe one paper, the snippets or from one paper can go into many parts in the analytical framework. And then you write your introduction. Why is it important and so on. I'm going to explain to you how to write. And then, you have your cut paste into the analytical framework. Then you start synthesizing. And I said synthesize, critical synthesis of the current literature, right? So after you cut paste here, so you look at the different parts in your analytical framework. So maybe you want to group the main concept, or approaches, you see the arguments, from your own analytical framework. Yeah. Okay, maybe it's quantitative, maybe it's qualitative. I'm also going to explain. Yeah. Then you revise the pre-work if necessary. Then you present the main concepts inside the article pre-work using features, figures, or tables. Yeah. Then you start discuss. Yeah. In the discussion part, yeah, you include element of debate. Yeah, if there is contradicting research, for example, to solve certain particular part in your issue, in the area that you focus. Yeah. What techniques have been used? Yeah. Why certain techniques better than other techniques? Yeah. Okay. What are the strengths and weaknesses of the approaches? What are the conflict that exist? Yeah. Okay. How can you resolve the conflict using different contradictory ideas? Yeah. And then what is your suggestion for further work or alternative that we can explore to solve the problem? Yeah. Then you finally you write your conclusion. Yeah. And then after you write your conclusion, you revise again your introduction that you have written before, because the conclusion have to be tally with the introduction. You revise your introduction, and then you check your paper for smooth flow. So I'm going to go into more details about this. Next. Okay, so for example, this is example of mind map. For example, you want to write about food insecurity, for example. So you see, food insecurity, okay, when you read, it can be caused of low labor productivity or low land productivity. Low land productivity is because of what? Unsuitable climate and so on. Then, for example, water scarcity. So why? So you can tackle that issue. So you have a mind map of the whole area, but say you want to focus, for example, on the techniques that can address inefficient irrigation, for example. Or you want to discuss about techniques or approaches that can address issue of water scarcity only. Yeah. So you should be, that is how you do a mind map, I said, of the whole area after you read. Then you do your mind map or like this, like a tree. Yeah. And then you look at the issues and challenges in the particular areas and where you want to focus. Yeah. So when you read, start with writing the mind map first, doing the mind map first, and then where you want to focus. Next. Okay. So after initial topic have been determined, okay, so you want to do water scarcity, for example. Yeah. So you have to find a focus. Yeah. So review is normally organized around ideas. Yeah. So I say it's not just the sources themselves as an annotated bibliography. Yeah. So you cannot see annotated bibliography is what? Okay, this is paper you read. Okay, but Salim and Willard, says what? What are you paper? And then another author says what? Another author. That is annotated bibliography. Yeah. So we don't want that. Yeah. So you cannot just simply list your sources and go into detail about each one of them one by one. Yeah. So you have to construct a thesis statement which which can justify the need for research through the literature review. Next. Okay. This is example of our thesis statement, for example. Yeah. So database integration. Yeah. How thesis statement is how effective is semantic-based database integration. So people have done review on database integration. But this is a long time before, our research a long time before. There are semantic technology at that time. We integrate database based on meaning of the data, meaning of the structure of the database. Yeah. So we study semantic technology, we study database integration. We look at whether people have applied or used semantic technology to integrate database. Yeah. And then what else can be done? Because we know the issues in database integration. We know the current development in semantic technology because we review semantic technology. Then we discuss how well semantic technology can be used to integrate database. Yeah. Okay, after that is the discussion. This is the conclusion. Okay, and there are potential that semantic technology of this and this can be used to integrate database better. Yeah, so that it can better performance in terms of what? Yeah, so that is the argument. So we argue from the literature. Okay, another thesis statement, for example, plagiarism detection. Yeah. So we just do review what is review on techniques to detect plagiarism. We don't do that. Yeah. But it has to be unique, it has to be new, I said. Yeah. Then people want to publish our paper. So at that time, this is also a long time ago. Yeah. At that time, we we took the approach of intelligent plagiarism. So we study how people plagiarize intelligently. Yes. Then we look at all the plagiarism detection technique and we discuss how well the current plagiarism detection technique can address intelligent plagiarism. So that is the argument and that is the conclusion. New, perspective. Another one is, we look at plagiarism, for example, we look at fuzzy aspects of plagiarism. Plagiarism is always good. You plagiarize or not plagiarize. But we see whether there are some fuzziness. What are the aspects of fuzziness when determining whether a work is plagiarized or not? So, we look at fuzzy technology, fuzzy logic, different fuzzy logic approach, and how the different fuzzy logic approaches, fuzzy techniques, fuzzy clustering, and so on, can be used to address the fuzziness in plagiarism detection. So that is new. It's not just summarizing what is in the literature, but rather, we have to think, how, to address the thesis statements here. So, after you have do your mind map and you know what to focus, you know the challenges, okay, so you can start thinking about your focus statement, thesis statement. You cannot just write whatever you read and then put in your paper. So you have to find a thesis statement that you want to prove or you want to study using the literature. And you want to argue for a certain point of view from your analysis of the literature. So this is statement. Next. Okay, so this is part of the review. Like I said, it relates to my previous slide before this, the introduction, where you put the context of your review and why you think it is important or significant to do such review. And then your analytical framework, the main framework that you are going to use to analyze a particular topic in the literature, and then how you synthesize whatever you have read in the literature, based on the analytical framework, domain framework. Here is where you reorganize or reshuffle whatever is in the literature and put it according to your analytical framework, and then you reorganize or synthesize. You cannot just put one by one, but rather you synthesize or reshuffle the literature based on your analytical framework. Then you evaluate the literature for variation, critical discussion of strength and analysis, and then you try to find the gap, and then suggestion. What else we can do, for research, Next, that people haven't done before, from your study of the literature. So first, the introduction part. Okay, for me, it has 4 elements. One, what is the problem? You have to define your problem. What is the problem? And then, in summary, how has the problem been solved? Maybe you can go from general, broad, to specific, to specific to your focus, and then next, you argue why the problem needs solving, what are the significance and impact of the problem, of solving the problem, and then what is the unique viewpoint of your review. Next, okay, this is from our paper, it's now, okay, we going to that.
I intend. This is activist.
Okay, so this is from our paper. Next. Okay, this is from this paper. Okay, from the introduction. So what is the problem? Okay, we talk about the problem of plagiarism detection. Why it needs solving is on the right because we have the World Wide Web where everything is on the online. Okay, and then how has it been solved? From general then to specific, and then the unique viewpoint of our review paper. This paper brings you factors of plagiarism together with textual features and so on. So think of all these 4 elements. Next, the slides will be shared with you after the talk. So you can refer to the slides later. Okay. So next, after you write your review, the next is analytical framework. It's like organizing your review. How you set up your thinking on the paper, how maths and tricks. And so here is when you pick your conceptual or theoretical framework, or you can pick taxonomy or tree of the area. Yeah. So basically, you want to impose some structure, yeah, on the maze that is the scientific literature in the area that you wish to investigate. So what are the structure? Yeah. Next. Okay, so real-world database. So this is normally our analytical framework for many areas that we wish to study. For example, we look at what are, for example, plagiarism. For example, what are the data used for plagiarism? Yeah, they use the document, or they use, for example, the figures or tables, or they use the references. Yeah, they use the abstract and so on. What are the data used to detect plagiarism? Yeah. And then how they represent the data. For example, text, there are many ways to represent the text. Phrases or engrams and so on. Yeah. Of predicates, and then ways to compare data or calculating the value of similarity. For example, you represent the document, then how you calculate whether this document, this part is similar to another part. Yeah? And then, maybe there are different paradigms used for comparison. For example, people might use probabilistic approach or fuzzy or and so on, vector space. Yeah. And then whether people have used external knowledge base, yeah, to detect plagiarism. For example, they use WordNet or social media and so on, other external databases. Yeah. Okay, so these are examples of analytical framework in our area. Next, you might have your own analytical framework. So what I said about conceptual math is like this. Yeah. So it's like, this is the area that you wish to study. That you break the area into parts. You break again. Eh? So it gives you the overall picture or broad view of the area. Yeah. So you want to see where you want to focus. You want to focus only here, for example, and you know where is your boundary. You can put that is your scope and limitation. Next. Okay. So yeah, basically conceptual framework is building the concept of work through the literature. Yeah. But if you put theory, for those who are doing theoretical thesis, what are the theories supporting this part? What are the theories supporting this part? So it becomes a theoretical framework. Yeah. Next. Okay, this is example of how we do it in our group. So you have a problem to focus. So maybe there are different parts of the problem. Yeah. So what are the different parts of the problem? Maybe there are different approach for part 1 or type 1. What are the approach for type 1? What are the approaches for type 2? And we create again and again. Next. Okay, example, we want to study intelligent plagiarism detection techniques. We just don't list it one by one. We have to do a conceptual framework first. Yeah. Okay, so what we do is we break this. So first part is intelligent plagiarism. But what are the different types of intelligent plagiarism? We break it. Then detection techniques. We break the detection techniques. For example, in databases, here in our area, when you want to do something, it's always algorithm and data, process and data. Yeah. So what are the ways to represent the documents? Okay, you can present using text or non-text or the style of writing. For example, for text, how you break it. And then when you want to compare, yeah, how do they compare the representation of data? And then they break it into different ways of comparison. For example, you break, that is an example of analytical framework. Next. Okay, if you don't know, yeah, how to do analytical framework, you might look at it from, the full area, yeah. For example, in plagiarism detection, here, we do this is plagiarism detection system. We have a query document that we want to check. And then we have a collection of documents that want to compare. Yeah, and then the output is highlighting suspicious sections, and the sources, and maybe the similarity index. Yeah. Okay. Next, then we break that black box there. Yeah, we break it into components. So this can be how you analyze the different components. Yeah. Okay. So maybe there are many ways. Yeah. For example, this is an plagiarism detection. Next. Yeah. Okay, they're also intrinsic, and maybe based on style, not based on what is in the document, the content. Yeah, but maybe in the way the document is presented. Yeah, you can detect plagiarism. So there are different components. Yeah, and we discuss based on the components. We break the conceptual, the conceptual framework based on the components in the area that we want to study. Yeah, so you might want to see in your area, yeah, how you want to break it into the components, of parts of the area. That becomes your conceptual framework. Remember about each computing just now? They look at the pillars, they look at the features. So for each computing, what are the features? What are the pillars? And then they look at what is needed, for example, in terms of network resource virtualization, for example. and so on. Resource visualization, for example. So they look at that point of view. So that is how, you have idea on how to do a conceptual framework for your area. So you look at the area, you break into components, and then you say this is how I'm going to evaluate it. Based on what is needed at the end. Next. Okay, this is, for example, again in our area, the money, intrinsic, and cross the word present. So cross-lingual, what is the component? Next. Okay, so the first part, plagiarism detection, intelligent plagiarism. In the literature, it has been published here. This is the current taxonomy that is published in the literature about plagiarism. So we enhance it, we enhance it. That's why we say, even people have done review on plagiarism detection, but we bring a new point of view, intelligent plagiarism. So next, we improve this to this. So how do we get this? We observe, we read from the literature, we also do interview, we also do online survey, and we come up with the new intelligent plagiarism detection. At one point in time, this became one of our most cited paper. So we give a new modified taxonomy, the first part. Next. Okay, so you can know when you do your conceptual review paper, your concept map, you can break it into the different parts, the different sections in your review paper. For example, this is the first part, Russia, and then this is intelligent plagiarism, this is the different parts there. Next. Okay, and for those who are doing research, it can become your objective also, the first part, second part, and third part, and become the different objective. Next. Okay, etiquette, they can become a number of review papers. For example, the first part is intelligent plagiarism detection technique, one review paper. Then we look at the fuzzy aspect. I give you example before. So fuzzy plagiarism detection, become the next review paper. We study about fuzzy logic, we study about the fuzziness and what are fuzzy about plagiarism, and then we discuss, how fuzzy logic have been used to detect plagiarism, and then whether there are other ways in terms of fuzzy logic that can be applied to detecting plagiarism. The next part is semantic plagiarism. We study about semantic technology, we review about semantic technology. Plagiarism, plagiarism we already reviewed. So we discussed about whether, semantic technology can be used to detect plagiarism. So it can be another review paper, it can be another objective, and then you can combine here fuzzy semantic with plagiarism detection. What are fuzzy about plagiarism detection? What are the, rather than when you read papers, you want to detect plagiarism, like the LinkedIn, you want to see how we can detect plagiarism through meaning of the paper, through meaning of the documents. So how semantic technology can be used to detect plagiarism based on meaning, not only based on what is written on the document. There are many techniques, so we discussed about that. Because how we can do it? Because we have studied semantic technology. The semantic technology is technology based on, in short, meaning. So we study fuzziness, fuzzy logic, and then we discuss about fuzzy semantic, how fuzzy semantic can address plagiarism that can be used to detect plagiarism. So that is our unique point of view. So that is what I said, merge concept paper, merge review paper, merge between different concepts to address a certain issue. Next, because all this has thesis statement. All of this, and then it can be your experimental paper where you will do experiment, you do a design, because you know what can be done, then you can design whether it's still hypothesis, right? So you can do your, you have your objective 1, objective 2, objective 3, then you can do your experiment and see whether it works or not. So it can become your experimental one. So that's why I said about focus statement. You have to have a focus, not just reviewing, but you want to argue from certain point of view. Okay, next. Excellent. Okay, this is example of another example of concept. Conceptual map. This is about 3B. So this is about video classification. So when you want to classify video, you have to pre-process. There are different ways to pre-process video, and then different ways to classify. For example, based on genre, event, object, and so on. So you can review your part. You have to have an analytical framework first. You just don't go into listing what papers you have read one by one. Have an analytical framework based on your research area. Next. Okay. So after you have done your analytical framework and you have read, so you see, You read, you cut paste. For example, about intelligent pragmatism, you cut into what are the different types of pragmatism, what are the different types of technique. You read, you cut paste into the different parts in your article framework. Maybe you read one paper, oh, this is how they represent the documents for pragmatism session. So put it into the parts, the parts of the analytical framework where it talks about representation. So this is how they compare. Oh, so you put that part into the comparison part, for example. So you cut paste. But after that, you have to synthesize. What is it? You cannot just cut paste like that. You have to synthesize. So this is how you can synthesize. So the most popular that we use in our group is grouping it based on table. So we group the techniques. So it's not just listing whatever is, done to represent the document, but we group the techniques. We group the techniques there into table, then we discuss. It can be one repeated pyramid, for example, broad to narrow. It can be based on certain themes or by trend. First, chronology of the first people do this, then the next group of researchers do this, then the next group of researchers, it can also be like that. Or it can be based on certain question. You have how do they do this? How do they begin? You can organize it based on the questions that you ask about a particular part in your analytical framework. Next, I'm going to show you an example. So this is a representation. Before this, when my student do, they just she just release, all the different representation of how people represent document for pragmatism detection purpose. So what we do is to say, no, you cannot do like that. You have to group. So she group it. Oh, okay. So there are some lexical features, some are syntactic features, some are semantic features, some are structural features. So, for example, structural features, some are block specific, some are content specific. Okay, and so on. So we group it and we see what in this case my student do what are the required tools and resources and what are the references of people that use that particular approach for representing document. So when you read, and first you don't know, you just put. And then only you look at it, you read, and then you start grouping or categorizing. You start organizing or synthesizing the things that you found from the literature. Next. Okay, this is also for comparative evaluation, also in the framework. How do they compare documents? So we've also copied, so there are certain groupings. Actually, these are grouping based on distance, these are grouping based on correlation, and so on. So we group it. Next. And then, okay, how do we make conclusion? Okay, this is about the methods and how they are efficient in detecting different plagiarism types. So we have studied different plagiarism just now. Taxonomy of plagiarism. So this is plagiarism type, and these are the techniques. Okay, so we study. Okay, this technique can be used to detect this type of plagiarism. This is ours. So this is the value of the paper. The discussion is the most valuable part in your review. The discussion not only representing what is published in the literature. Okay, so the discussion is what is important. So here, this is the main part. The meat of our paper is that we show that, okay, these are the plagiarism detection types, and these are the techniques published in the literature. So we show that, there are many types here that cannot be addressed by the current plagiarism detection techniques. And this is the gap. So we conclude by saying that we need more techniques that can address certain types of plagiarism. Okay, and what are the techniques? So for certain people, they go more. You see, okay, what are the different types? Okay, these techniques need semantic, and then they start with arguing the semantic, fuzzy, and so on. That is, how you actually link whatever you have studied from the literature to the further research that is needed to address the problem to dealing. Okay, so you address the gap. Next. Okay, these are suggested words that can be used to discuss the table after you have grouped. You can say that there are a number of approaches to address what of the most popular holders there is what, and which is used by internet reference. Another technique is what are the similarities, so what are the differences. So this is an example of what that you can use. Next. Okay, and then for each group of the technique, after you have addressed, you can say, what is the technique, why is it proposed, what are the advantages offered with what other techniques, and how is it performed in summary, and then and so on. What is it here? Okay, next. Okay, and then next. Okay, and then discussion. you can do it, either, after you say the first group is what, then you can discuss, or at the end of after, that this is the topic, the framework, the part about representing documents. So at the end, you discuss, after you have explained all the techniques, and then you can put in separate discussion section next, So, review, I think, should be evaluative, not descriptive. If descriptive is not a very good review. So it must be evaluative in nature. For example, you look at the possible reasons for similarities or differences between the studies, rather than just you say that you have identified these are the techniques that are used to solve the problem. But you look at the similarities, differences, the weaknesses and strengths. Next. Okay. Example, similarities. As can be observed, all the techniques discussed above use what? But what are the weaknesses? The problem that could arise with the use of such techniques are what? Similar problem, similar problem have been observed for our area because we work in data, with data. We study biological data, chemical data, text data. So we say that these are the problems, but similar problems have been observed in chemical databases or biological databases. So, and it has worked, this certain type of technique can work best for certain types of cases that are similar to what we observe in text, for example. So we see that there are possibility that it can be used to solve certain things. So a possible way to improve it. So really into what research question that we have. Next, further research is this. So how do you evaluate the current approach? Maybe you use conventional criteria. People always evaluate using, for example, accuracy, error, and stuff like that. So conventional aspects are point. But you can have new criteria. New criteria. For example, like us, people have always evaluate plagiarism detection using current techniques. How accurate the techniques are in detecting plagiarism. But we have our own way. We say that there are intelligent plagiarism that you cannot evaluate using current performance criteria. So for intelligent plagiarism, you can use other use it to discuss the techniques from a different point of view. So we have our own evaluation criteria, our new perspective. For example, in terms of summarization, we also do summarization, automatic summarization. People use, for example, what we call ROGE. ROGE is a method, ROUGE, to detect whether the summary is the same as a number of human summarizers. But we say that there are problems in this current techniques. We say that you look at the concepts covered by the humans and also the computerized technique. And how are the techniques, how you evaluate the techniques based on the concepts, not only the kinds of work that is stimulated. So we evaluate the current detection technique based on our own evaluation criteria, not only what is in the literature. So you can also argue from that point of view. A new point of view of evaluating the criteria when you want to evaluate the current literature. Next. Okay, that's why when you in the introduction, in the introduction of the paper, you have to state, you have to argue why is it significant, why is it important, and maybe the current literature hasn't been reviewed from a certain point of view, and your review is going to critically analyze the literature from a certain perspective that hasn't been evaluated in the previous review. So you can do that. Okay, so the critical framework is very important in review. So regardless of the method of your research, whether it's subjective, textual, historical, empirical, and so on, you must use a certain analytical lens to interpret your literature and your data. So for quantitative research, it can be mathematics as a mathematical method. For interpretive or qualitative research, textual research, it can be from different interdependent approaches or lenses. From where the material is interpreted. For example, from this point of view, from this practitioner point of view, from this aspect, from this perspectives, how well the techniques or the approaches are. So you can look at different senses and argue in. Next. Okay, this is example. This is a long time ago when we discussed about clustering methods. So we look at, in terms of computation efficiency. I'm going to show the table. This is mathematical. So in the week, we argue from the ability of the clusters, to recover natural clusters in the data set. We look at the effectiveness of the clustering method for intended application and so on. So this is the discussion, looking at the different perspective of the literature. Next. Okay, for computational efficiency, we look at time complexity. This is for people in computer, right? Time complexity and space complexity. This is we need to calculate, from the algorithm, and then we have to we have to explain, okay, because of these techniques, this is the time complexity and space complexity. The applicability is what? So this is our method, our argument, our idea of the current literature of the techniques that has been published. So you can use that to argue about what has been published. So basically, it's not just what I'm trying to say here. It's not just the description of the literature, what has been published, but you have to evaluate the literature from a certain point of view, to support your thesis statement just now. Okay, next. Okay, so that first part, conventional review. Okay, next. Okay, so that is the first part. So the first part, conventional review. So you have to have a thesis statement and do the analytical framework. Then when you read, you cut piece into the analytical framework, then you synthesize, then you probate, then you discuss. And then it leads you to further research. When you want to discuss, you can do a certain, you have a certain evaluation framework in your mind. How you want to evaluate the current literature. For certain views, for example, for certain perspective of the literature. So that is the new perspective for the literature that can get your review paper published in Chatgpt. Okay, the next part that I'm going to explain to you is systematic literature review. Okay, for this slides, actually I attended a course a long time ago, I think 2012. So many of the slides I got from that course that I went to, conducted by Dr. Salim from UIA. Next. Okay, systematic literature review here is a review with clearly formulated research question, clearly formulated question that use systematic and explicit method to identify, select, and critically appraise relevant research. Okay, so you may use statistical method, or you might not want to use statistical method to analyze and summarize the results of the included studies. Next. Okay, so I'm going to use, I have a number of SLR papers. You can search under my name, Conventional review. Also, I have a number of papers that you can look at from Web of Science here. This is example that I use Salima's paper. Next. Okay, so this is the 24-step guide, but I'm going to give you a short version because our time is limited. You can read it on your own. Next. Okay, so for performing SLR, first you have to plan for the review. You have to formulate the review research question. What you want to ask from the literature. Then you have to review. You have to conduct the systematic and literature review. First, you have to review and develop the review protocol. It's like the methodology. For the review, and then you identify the relevant literature by conducting comprehensive and exhaustive search. Then you select the primary studies based on the inclusion-exclusion criteria. Then you extract your data. Then you do the reporting. You assess the quality of the study and you synthesize your evidence. Then you write up the report. Next. Okay, first formulating the problem. So what is your research question? Not research question about your research, but question that you want to ask from the literature. For example, what are the techniques that have been used for chatbot? What developing chatbot? What are the performance measures used to evaluate chatbot techniques? What are the data sets used to train techniques for developing chatbot? For example, whatever question about the literature. So take a few moments and write your question. Next, okay. So this is example of Harimat. Primary research question is, she wants to study pair programming, that is conducted in higher education settings, So what evidence is there that pair programming studies conducted in higher education setting that investigated the effectiveness of pair programming and the pair compatibility. Yeah, when you want to teach people computer science, yeah, okay, there are approach that pair the students. Yeah, so what are the effectiveness of using this pairing rather than not pairing the student when teaching computer science or software engineering? Yeah, and what are the factors they use to pair the student? Yeah, so that is a study from the literature. So that she break it into a number of sub-questions. Okay, so what are the pair compatibility factors that affect the effectiveness of pair programming? And then, how they measure the effectiveness of pair programming, and then what are the software quality measure used to see whether the pair programming techniques is effective or not. Next, okay, this is another study. This is the first person who used systematic literature review in software engineering. Systematic literature review is used a lot for medical research. But starting from 2007, it's also used in our area of computer science. So, when we, for software engineering, we want to estimate the cost of the software. So for estimating the cost of the software, the weakest part is the effort part, the programming part. So there are models developed to estimate the cost of software. So the models, at that time, they want to see whether some models are based on cross-company estimation, some models are based on only one company estimation model. So they want to study, whether the cross-company estimation model is different or not from within the company, and then characteristics of the data set used, what are the data analysis method used, and then what are the procedure used to compare with it and cross-company. So you see, you can ask many things. Procedure, data set, performance measure, not only the techniques. Not only the things. Okay, next. Okay, so from that, normally this is what I've been taught. So you extract the peacock here. What are the population that you want to study? What are the intervention techniques, the certain aspect of interest that they want to look at in the literature? What are the comparison? Okay, what aspects of the intervention that you want to look at and you want to evaluate? And then what are the outcome of the intervention? And then what are the context or the environment in the operation that you want to study? The scope basically. Okay, example easier for you to understand. Right? Next. Okay, so this is example of the cross-company just now. Operation or software of web projects. Intervention cross-company estimation model compared with single company estimation model. Outcome, we want to see whether when you estimate the effort, the cost of the software is accurate or not. So you look at it from accuracy point of view. Next. Okay, this is the pair programming one. The population, all computer science and software engineering students in higher education. Intervention, pair programming. Not compared with anything. Outcome, the effectiveness of pair programming, the context. Fall within CSSE, computer science and software engineering in higher education. Okay. Next. Okay. Then you develop the first research question. Then for doing systematic literature review, what to ask from the literature? Okay, a number of questions. Next, you develop the protocol, the methodology. So this is the plan for doing the review. So it has background, research questions, search term, and so on. I'm going to go through with you next. Okay, this is how you conduct the review. You identify the relevant literature, select the study, assess the quality of the study, perform data extraction, and synthesize the evidence. Next. Okay, first, identify relevant literature. Okay, so this is exhaustive and comprehensive study, and it's the chief of the study to be included in your review. So you have to define you have to define your search strategy. You might want to consult your librarian, your knowledge manager in the faculty, and then normally it's iterative. So you search again, then you see whether if what you expect to have from the search you add or not. Otherwise you have to refine your search strategy. Next. Okay, so for that, this is common approach to construct the search string. So you have your peacock just now. So you can derive the major terms from your peacock. That can be your keywords to search. Then you list the keywords, or you can look at a certain article that you know will really answer what you want. So you list the keywords mentioned in the article. Look at the keyword part, you can use that also for your search string. Then, when you have these words and these words, you can look at synonym or alternative words for the words. Then you use boolean or for the synonyms, and then you use boolean and to read all the major words within that. Next example there. So for example, pair programming, so you have student. So the alternative word is undergraduate, for example. So you all it. Next is pair programming and intervention. Pair programming and pair programming, so there are, it can be hyphen, not hyphen, and you add it. Then experiment or measurement, this is the outcome. Be copying the outcome that you want to see, and then you put the context and so on, right? So you end everything for the alternative word in all. Next. Okay, same thing you use for, this example, this for the cross copy and within copy. So you all the population, intervention, contrast, outcome, and so on. And then from within this you all, and for this you end this with this with this with this. Next. Okay, so you want to search where? So you have to list where you want to search. Digital library, reference list, journal, research registers, and so on. Internet, Okay, or you want to contact specific researchers directly. Next. Okay, this is example of what have been used for the pair programming. Okay, next. This is example what have been used for the cross-company within company software estimation model. Next. Okay, then after you search, you have to select. You will have a lot. So you have to assess whether it's relevant or not. So you have to set criteria of what you want to include, what you want to exclude. The selection process should be piloted, and you see whether you can get what you want, or you can throw out what you don't want through your way of selection. So it's a multi-stage process. Next. Okay, so this is selection criteria. So you have to say what are the differentiation criteria. Any study that compares Asian and cross-company model with multi-company model. Okay, exclusion. Study where data is collected from a very few company, or where model is compared only with general model, and so on. Exclusion, inclusion criteria. Next. Okay, this is from the pair programming inclusion, and any study that any empirical study of pair programming that involve higher education. Okay, exclusion, maybe this in the paper presenting unsubstantiated claims, paper not interpreted in English, papers involving students outside higher education, and so on. Exclusion criteria. Next. Okay, so after you do that, so this is your search engine where you search, then when you search using your keyword, what are the papers you obtain, then you filter from the title. So what papers you reject from the title based on your criteria just now, then, for example, 43, and you reject 33, you only have 10 accepted after you reject based on just reading the title. Then from reading the title, you read the abstract, you reject 4 more because it's not meeting your diffusion exclusion criteria. Then, you only from 10 minus 4, you got only 6. Then you read the full paper. So by here, you only read this paper. Total number of paper 13 from 1,000 over. Then you read the full paper, how many you reject, then this is the final paper that you had. Next. Okay, okay, so this is example. Normally we present it like this, total paper, then you reject a title, how many, duplicate, how many, and so on. Next. Okay, normally they use XML. There are many variations to principle. For example, identification, number of records you identify, then duplicates, remove screening, number of records screened, then full article access for eligibility, and then finally, how many studies you include, for your studies. Sometimes you break, you have 2 analysis, quantitative and qualitative. So how many you use for quantitative analysis, how many you use for qualitative analysis, and there are many variations to principle. Next. Okay, so then you assess the study quality. Okay, so for example, you reject based on diffusion exclusion criteria, you only got a few from the number, the 1,000 that import, from your search string. Then, you assess the study quality. So you have to, apart from the inclusion exclusion criteria, you have to, give criteria for measuring the qualities of the paper, maybe in terms of the methodology, or how they analyze the finding, and so on. Next. Next. Okay, so this is example of the quality criteria. For example, what's the article referred? Referred to. Okay, so yes, you get 1 point, no 0 point. Were the aims of the study clearly stated? Yes, 1 point, no 0, partially 0.5. So all papers you will give marks. So full marks is 7 because all yes, 7. If all 0, 0. And then they are in between. Next. Next, okay. Then after that, yeah, you have a data extraction form. Yeah, this is how you extract the data. Yeah. So data extracted from the studies, you record using data extraction form. Yeah. So you should design and pilot then first, collect information. Yeah. From your RQ and the study quality into the form. Yeah. So you have your quality checklist also in the same form. Yeah. And then in case of duplicate, yeah, you can refer to the most complete one. Yeah. Okay. Next, and then you have you should actually validate your review. Okay. Okay, another your paper and your data extraction form, whether it's okay or not. Next. Okay, so this is example of data extraction form for the pair programming study. So you have things about your research question, for example, pair programming effectiveness, yeah, and then you have about the study quality, and also you have all the criteria about your quality quality criteria. Next. Okay, then you synthesize the evidence, yeah. Okay, so you collect, all the data from your data extraction form, then you analyze. Yeah, you can do quantitative or non-quantitative. Next. Okay, this is the reporting structure. Okay, so introduction, okay, general introduction about the research, why is it important, the significance of the review, yeah, and how your study will contribute to the body of knowledge. The main part of the paper is the review method, yeah, your protocol, and then the results, discussion, conclusion. Next. Okay, so this is example reporting the results. This is from the Black Prisma just now, yeah, how you study and then how you screen until you got only at the end 74. Next. Okay, and then synthesize the evidence. Yeah. So what evidence is there? About this question. Yeah. So summary. Okay, for 74 papers, 70 papers, 33% investigated pair compatibility, 70 or 96% look at the effectiveness and so on. Yeah. So you get from your data extraction form. Next. Okay. So about the compatibility factors. Then so they also group the compatibility factors. These are the compatibility factors. The number of studies that use these compatibility factors, whether they focuses positive effect, negative effect, no significant effects, or mixed result. So everything from the data extraction form you present in using certain table. Yeah. So then you can see. Yeah. Next. Okay. This is about the sub question number 2. Yeah. How they evaluate the effectiveness? They group it according to the different types of how the effectiveness is evaluated. Next. Okay, and then they present it using whether it's pair programming is better or similar or worse. And from this you can see that most study found that it is better according to the different criteria. Next. Okay, and then this is meta-analysis. Yeah, you can do meta-analysis for effect size and so on. Next. Okay, and then about measure of quality. How do you measure the quality of software produced by the pair programming? So you group it, yeah, and then you see how many studies use what. Next. Yeah. Okay, that implication of the research main finding. So what are the compatibility factors most used and whether it's effective or else? What are the quality modeling, So then again the gap, yeah. So lack of research concerning psychosocial elements of pair programming, yeah, and the influence on pair programming effectiveness. Also lack of studies conducted in software design modeling, yeah. So from the how to evaluate the effectiveness and the pair compatibility, they find the gap. So this is the portion of the paper. Next. Okay. Final part. Yeah. Not final part. This is the third type of paper, review and experimental paper. Next. Okay. This for example, these are the paper that the review plus experiment. Next. Okay. For you, to do review plus experimental paper, you have to come up with evaluation criteria. I said maybe like the performance measure or a certain new perspective on how you want to evaluate the methods or what has been published there. And then you have to have a gold standard. You have to develop your own data set that can be used to evaluate the current techniques based on this evaluation criteria. Yeah? Then you do baseline identification. For example, you have selection criteria of the current techniques. Maybe you group it. Then you take one from each group, yeah, from the literature. Then you do your experiment. Then discuss based on the performance criteria. You look at why the method fails, why the method is okay, and then you highlight what can be done in the future to address the reasons. Maybe you want to fuse and maybe you want to combine the techniques and so on. Yep. Next. Okay, final. You want it to have between default. Yeah? AI tools. Yeah? Next. Okay, so the top. Actually, like how I think Dr. Adham, I discussed with him. He gave me a lot of ideas. In fact, he will help me prepare the slides for this part. Yeah? Okay, so first, size space here. Can you all, those who have computer now, can you type this size.com? Yeah, I want you to do with me. Yeah, size.com. Okay, here you can type your topic here. Any topic here. Yeah, we can type any topic here. Better you do with me because especially Chatgpt, I want you to install. I forgot that. Okay, so when you search, you can see a list of paper. Yeah. Okay, click at the title, of the paper that you list, and then you can see the full paper here. Yeah, when you click, you will see the co-pilot here. This is your AI generated text box. Yeah, and then you can highlight, you can get, what are the data set used. You click, what are the contribution of the paper? What are, summarize the introduction? What are the results? Practical implication, cooperation, methods used. All, summarize for you. You don't have to read. That is not your buddy. Yeah. Okay. And then if you don't understand certain maths, state equation or table, you can click here, click whatever, phrase, and you highlight, then they will explain, and then you can say that, you can explain, you can write, explain aspect of this paper in 2 lines. Then easy for you to get into your paper. I'm going to show you the next. Okay, this is size space, for example. Yeah. Okay, this is a method. They responded by AI. This was the full paper. Yep, and then you can summarize. Yep, summarize the introduction of the paper. It will summarize and so on. Next. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I go through first because my computer cannot link. It has problem. So we type. Patient. Because you to apa-apa kan, tak apa kan. Cepat kan, tu pun salah. Okay, because I want to cut the image. I say fine. Okay, for what? What you read? Recap I2. Recap the first one. Okay, starting from now, I'm going to see, because I'm going to demo and you go with me. You go with me and you are going to see how easy it is now to write papers, But, okay,
This data believes the target that was being swatched and some of the building. This one of the students.
Okay, I've done size need. Okay, size space kan? Okay, you all can see, right? My size space here.
Another box. Let's
Okay, this is size space. You type whatever you want. Type now. For example, sentiment analysis. Here. This is, I type sentiment analysis and it is going to give me all the papers regarding sentiment analysis. So, for example, I can filter it. I can filter it based on PDF or open access only, year, authors, topics, journal or conference. So, I can filter it. Okay, so, for example, this one. Example, this is a book, for example. I think.
and getting best interpreted. So, but the book was also the
Wait, one and a point.
We're not subject of work.
rather than it happened like that. And it's like, I should come in as influencer. The ultimate now is putting the other big city is for the team type of it. So,
With the extent of the capacity,
he needs to go. I wonder if they would add it with lit. It can't be worse than that proportion. It was a bit foul in those grain version and it has.
Wait, it takes some time. It takes some time. Actually, I've configured it and another context
Without course.
first back in there.
Okay, hold on. There's something down there. Which is three concepts.
I mean, we start already.
Is that half? Without the hat, it's see the dimension. What's that? I think you've get that. Often.
Something. Silent seat up there. The pride. Here for quite.
And have you all tried?
The point about it. Now the indexes of the book. First and days.
Okay. So, wait. We go side space just now. Yeah. Okay, let's go together.
Prof, the subject Prof, and I'm boss.
Kejap.
I think you're very dumb and that's it. Okay, it's
Let's. Yeah, right.
was answered. But we not
Part of the resume. He dissolved his work.
tight. What is up to summer? And I did there. We threw the on
Okay. Well, what was it? It makes some down. He's what in the typical pyramid. I didn't should have. Top of all was a presentation.
yes, step to the end. It is
And I was to be quiet all day. We're good.
to ask the way. The best
Let's see. So what you've got. Okay, go.
Oh, see like this, right? Okay, so you can search, for example, sentiment analysis, example.
It's for in but himself.
taking the do and do that the puzzle without the bit.
Please add it. All the connection to it out.
So maybe it can be a bad.
Okay, so you see this, yeah? Okay, then you can sort, for example, let's say,
The hurts.
okay, you can look at the food tags, yeah? For example, okay, I take this one. Yeah?
So the analysis.
You point paper. Okay, until you got the co-pilot, yeah?
Good. And the partial. That's
Very good.
is a
Okay, so this is the paper. For example, this is the co-pilot here. Here, your AI tool here, right? At the right. When it takes some time.
Right. Hope
Okay, you can write your question wherever you want to ask here. Yeah? Can you see my pointer here? Here, right? You can write whatever you want to ask about the paper. For example, explain abstract interest. They have given you a number lah. Yeah? Or you can say practical implication of the paper. So they are going to give you what are the practical implication of the paper. Yeah? Or you can write your own question about the paper. So this paper proposes a model that can be seen in some practical implication of the paper. So this is AI generated. Yeah? So now you don't follow me, you do your own area. Right? So let's find, okay, match and table here. Let's see if there is an equation here. Okay, so there is an equation here. Okay, so I find that.
A chat. See how they just think. We want the tips and the pie. Truth for water beer tradition.
The ending. Okay, so this is the explain the text here. Okay, so I've pasted, just now, the equation. See, it's trying to explain to me the equation. So if you don't understand, yeah, so they are going to give you the explanation of the equation. Same with table, they are going to explain. So you can ask anything. Yeah, you can say summarize introduction of the paper, literature survey of the paper, methods used in this paper. What are the methods used in this paper? Okay, that is size space. Yeah, okay, you all can do? Janet, you have tried, right? Okay, first tool. Okay, so the model, what is the model? Right? Not everything is correct. Yeah, that's why you have to read. Yeah, but at least you have something to help us. Right? Okay, next that I'm going to show you. There is, okay, this is size space. Yeah. Okay, you can look at, all the different, I can also search, like even if I say business and sentiment analysis, how separate this is used in business. So you can ask and then they are going to give you an answer. Or this, okay, this is size space. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next one. Here, oops. The next one is NEC, yeah, NEC here. Okay, so NEC, yeah, I think this one, she's open again. Okay, This is edc.org. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
what are the
Can you? Okay. I'm going to go back.
it's only pipe guys. It's with and I about skin guy on. Take the rubber.
I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint slide so that it's easier.
But up during 60 hands. Oh, and
Yeah. So go back here. Okay. So size space. Yeah. Okay. Allow me to sit here so that it's easier for me to use my computer. Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute.
I had a minute. It's something. I did it there. Also, yeah, after that.
Sometimes I prefer doing it online from my room. Yeah, but okay. So this is size space. Yeah. Okay. So you can respond. Based on this, you can ask anything. Yeah, about the paper is going to give you. Okay. Next is edit. Can you all type https edit.org? Can you type now? Okay. Okay. Then from here you can ask anything here. Yeah. What are the okay?
They're not happy when I look at that. It was synced.
Okay, here you look at the top, you can write anything. Yeah, you can ask anything to elicit. What are the challenges of using machine learning for big data analytics, for example? Yeah, so they are going to give you the papers. Yeah, and then there is certain little thing here. Tak betul tak apa ini here, coach. Okay.
This part.
Wait there. Okay. And then, they are going to give you the summary of the paper and then certain other information. Abstract summary, what are the intervention used, what are the outcome they measure, and then you can also look at the abstract summary and so on. Yeah? Have you tried edc.org? Okay. And then you can click on the paper, yeah, and you can look at the critiques of the paper. What people have critiqued about the paper. For example, population characteristics. Yeah, can you trust the paper, the detail of the paper? What are the possible critiques of the paper, from the literature, and so on. Okay, Elicit, have you tried Elicit? You want to go together?
The two choose it.
Okay, I'm going to demo Elicit before we go to our past the others.
In us.
Bear with me, it's a bit slow, even connecting here is a bit slow. Yeah.
So what?
Okay. I hope you can see. Yeah. Okay, this is edit. Yeah. Okay. I asked, for example, how can sentiment analysis be used in business? This is my question. So this is the answer. Summary of top 4 papers. So it summarized the top 4 papers for me. Zigny and Zailia both discuss, you can cut piece and feed into your paper, right? So it has summarized how can sentiment analysis be used in business. That is my question. So they summarized from the paper, and they wrote for me the summary of the top 4 papers. You click here, okay? Then you can add information about all the papers, but I extract summary. If I click here, so sub-asset summary, what are the intervention? So intervention, outcome measures. Yeah, outcome measure. These are the outcome measures for the different papers. Okay. So have you tried everything? Can you understand what I'm saying? Yes, you can summarize the paper. It summarizes the paper for you. So you can ask many things here. Yeah. Okay. So I'm asking, I asked how can sentiment analysis be used in business. So you can ask many other things. Okay. Next here is
What does it?
open knowledge map. Yeah. Okay. I don't need to go to my setup next. So open knowledge map here. For example, you go with sentiment analysis here. Okay.
What does job banana?
You ask anything. Yeah? Open knowledge map is open knowledge map.org. And open knowledge map.org. It takes sometimes. Yeah. The engine is running. You can go open knowledge map.org. Okay. So you can ask anything in the open knowledge map.org. It is going to give you a knowledge map of what you asked. In this case, knowledge map of sentiment analysis. So when I click these are the bubbles. There are many papers about text classification, sentiment information, sentiment lexicon. And there are many papers on naive Bayes. There are fewer papers on text predicting, emoticons, emoticon sentiment. there are fewer papers on tweaks and keyword classification and so on. They have grouped the papers. Yeah, they have grouped the papers and they show you the papers. So if you click one, for example, I click here, right? And then Bayes, for example, I click here. They are going to show you all the papers about Bayes classification. Yeah, for sentiment analysis. Yeah, in sentiment analysis, you do classification. For example, one of the things that you can do for sentiment analysis. Classify that sentiment is positive, negative, neutral, right? So, how have Bayes been used? So, these are the papers that use Bayes. You can look at the summary, of the papers. Yeah, these are the summary of the paper. Yeah. So, what are the papers that use it? It actually do a knowledge map for you. Yeah. And you can look at the papers. You can go back and then if you want to look at, the highlight here, why is it linked to your search? And then these are the papers. Yeah? Okay? Okay. Now, finally, Chatgpt. Okay? Chatgpt. Okay, you can go with me, yeah? So, okay, you want to make, it's like Chatgpt is your bunny. Yeah? Okay, you want to do SLR on what? I mean, just follow me. Just follow me, yeah? Because okay, open Chatgpt, open AI. Google open AI, then you find Chatgpt, the one with this symbol. Yeah, that is Chatgpt. Yeah? Open AI, yeah? Or you go to chat.openai.com. Or in my slide I give you. Okay, everybody have open Chatgpt? Okay, everybody have open Chatgpt yet? Okay. Chat.openai.com. If you haven't registered, you can register now. Okay? You can sign up now if you haven't registered. Okay, so now you type as I type, yeah? As the co-author of this paper suggests the title for systematic literature review on sentiment analysis. So, you want to do systematic literature review on what? So, you type, as the co-author for this paper, suggest a title for systematic literature review on whatever you want to do. Okay, it's all in my slide, yeah? But I want to save time because Afifi said, okay, the time is up. Okay, so you type, then they will give you all the suitable title. Sure, I'll be happy to suggest a title for your systematic literature review on sentiment analysis. Here are the few options. Okay. If you want to do in Bahasa, then you say in Bahasa. If you want to do in Bahasa Indonesia, Bahasa Indonesia. Yeah, but I haven't tried with special characters like Chinese and so on. Yeah. But I tried with Bahasa Roja, because I have research, for sentiment analysis that I need to produce the lexicon. Yeah, so it helped me. Okay, so this is happy with the prompt engineering. Yeah, okay, so you got about audio your title? Cannot. Can you open your Chatgpt? Boleh, Professor boleh tak? Chatgpt, tak boleh open. Sekejap Okay, Google dia, open AI. Ikut saja So, Google open AI. Okay. Because like Google, I will lose you. Okay, I will go through with you first. Then I will go round. Yeah, I will go round. Yeah. Okay. So when you see here, co-author can give you suggestion. First step. Okay. Then, okay, you pick one title that you like. For example, number 1. Please suggest an outline for title number 1. Outline. So it will give you, it gives me outline of my paper, your analytical framework of the paper. Introduction, purpose, methodology, structure, background of related work, brief history, type of sentiment, application analysis, methodology, okay, results. Yeah, but don't trust everything. Yeah, this is your suggestion. You are better than Chatgpt. Yeah, okay, discussion, conclusion. Okay, now, okay, outline. Please write article for 300 words introduction with at least 5 citations in APA format. So, this one I run running. So, it wrote for me introduction, 300 word introduction. Yeah. Based on it, I just cut paste. I just look at here, introduction, background. I just cut paste into my prompt. Yeah. Okay, right? It wrote for me
introduction, 300 word introduction together with 5 reference. Okay? So you can go one by one. Write for me this section, 500 word with how many citation? Okay, that it will do it for you. But I say, don't go around telling people that from Naomie tell you the deputy for everything. You don't say that, I just give you 8, I say it. But you have to, you are the big person, you have sometimes, Chatgpt can be wrong, sometimes Chatgpt can be wrong, so you are better than Chatgpt. You can use it to produce outline, to help you write, give you references and so on. Okay, so I'm going to go around to help you a bit, but that is example of how you can use Chatgpt, to help you write, yes? Okay, actually, oh no, I don't need to take video because it's in my slide. Okay, I go back to my slide. You like, I don't need that. Okay, it's in my slide. Everything that I shown here.
Yelling on something. And the class was good. Even ma'am. Oh, but was teacher. Already in a sense to do third again. What computer am so fast that gave objects of a 7 hours super qual up the best tip. I shall cheer the record statement set I should down and sure not here. I could not keep it but let's see come on the reason why and do that's the job being given was everything up for sure and ask it this beyond but isn't just doing we get a poly to not just learn about and contents and molding to the odd thing. The sounding way for the what is the between being in the corner.
Oh, that was so I put, but you have had to try it. And then you read all the tools. Okay, so detailed with all the math.
Yes, and made of course you choose this spell we had it. That's right.
You can put knowledge math, the cost, that's it. So you can have a knowledge math of what has been published in the area that you want to do review. Okay, next BB. So next was what's word. Okay, next. Next, so this is it. Okay, get detailed. Okay, this is Chatgpt. All the prompt that I showed you just now, I wrote already on my slide. So it can help you actually write it at the field. But don't trust everything. Don't publish as is. Please don't publish as is. It can be wrong. It can be wrong. Therefore, why don't publish as is? But if you have no idea, you start by that. That is your meant, and leave that.
But it is so a fit job adaptation even to covers a certain type and nothing beyond selling yourself.
So you see that what the authentic you can do, but I'm not sure whether the good general and set or not. But I say you have to rewrite, we have to rephrase, you have to look whether it's correct or not. But see, don't take the easy way out. Ask for Chatgpt to write everything. So we can't be a co-author, co-author to what to be scared. Okay, next, okay, go appreciate it. Next, okay. So you just don't present other people, or argument when to think Chatgpt. By this, if you think Chatgpt is your argument, so it's not just to get them up of literature, revise wanted, critical, and take up approach. We read Chatgpt and find, you get us but it's your understanding of the literature as well and critical approach. So you have to understand the sources of error and inferences you have created that was the point. So remember, even with Chatgpt and so on, is your perspective, your creation is standpoint for there. But if you are doing this is a simple thing. Your standpoint for the literature or the material and the data and collected. So your theoretical position should be clear and strongly stated. And the language actually is your language of the assessment of the literature. Next. Okay. So after you write, you have to check your English, get the proofreader, you submit finds to the journal, normal process, revise format according to the specification for authors, for that journal, submit papers, write cover letters, suggest reviewer, and then, correct the paper as suggested by the reviewer if you have correction, like that. Okay, so this is exercise, but to get it, we want that your facilitator next. So, okay, so I think I'll be people would have helped me with preparing these slides and pursue this topic for about that half and of the ceremony. Next. Okay, I think that's all. I hope it helped you. Okay.
Now, we would like to open up the floor for any questions to the speaker. Please raise your hand, please. Anyone, anybody?
The patient and the word in there, they actually need that. Why is that important? Which and how very well and sitting with kind of
Data centers, Michael.
and being said that out of my babies, fascinating. Sorry, they might like see more observe it to be. Yes, there's something so yeah, and I get them but great being
The leading people, both piecing down for the related works, and then we write similarities, differences, what all those papers have in common. Yes, we have found those kinds of information, but do you think that it, we better if we like I think ideas on how to write that we include or there is some works, that macam nak nanti macam dia cakap, oh, this method is the best, followed by the second and third method. Other methods macam kalau kita tak cakap the best, dia macam content nak indirect content. What do you think of it?
Okay, for me, as a researcher, you have to be factual. Okay, you're saying that these methods perform very well for certain aspects of the problem. Yeah, there's certain one but certain results. Cakap in simple, kan? I think in the research we can accept that if our work is inferior to other work. But that's how it is broken wording. Prevention. If you write it, and you write it, as a matter of fact, keep going. That's how the different. Whatever statement we have is the other. We give evidence to us. When we see that our method is superior, for example, in the finished of this idea. So we see why our method is superior according to this the result of that is superior. That is called research. We do masalah opinion of care. Nobody research we don't care that because what our intention is to improve knowledge. We to get more knowledge. So we don't say that this method is very bad. We don't say also that. So we say that his method is to perform better than other method. It's normal, it's common. Other word you can step up. Yes, the word in the she has a fish and can I can send it into with no pattern. The meetings all I implemented suppose that's in a big director study that. Okay, did it as a good. Hello, Professor. Yeah. My name is Bibi and I come from Banquet Faculty. And I want to ask you because for example, now I want to write a little review about the disruptive innovation. And the first question is that how many papers I should choose? Because some people tell me maybe 100 and some people tell me maybe 200 but others tell me maybe 30 or 40 is enough. So what do you think? Okay, normally for review paper, it can be up to hundreds, even 300s or more, but depending on your video. If a lot has been published in your video, that's a lot. Yeah? Yeah. So, but if it's too many, 1,000, one video, then you want to narrow it down a bit, what is the most specific. You just don't say no. You for me, like, you just don't write the paper review on disruptive technology. That is too wide. You want to have a focus. Remember, I said in the beginning, what's that? The mindset was the area. Yeah. Then the break here, when you read paper, you break it into the mindset and focus on one. But, the standard is 30 or 40. Standard is 30 50. Normally, in the magnitude of 100. 2 out of 100. 100, 200, 300. Because I attended a lot of courses before I give you this topic. For example, I attended one course given by the University of Malaysia professor. He said 300. He said 300, but our paper doesn't. But I think of an example, if I choose 200 papers for the disruptive innovation, and I narrow the specific, so maybe I just found the different definition about the disruptive innovation. And because I think that at the beginning, if you want to find 200 papers, and you read each file one by one, and I think it's a hard work. So do you have some technique? How can I use some AR
to
You understand me? Okay, what is that, you have the mind map, right? Of the you knowledge map just now.
Yeah.
So you see what you want to focus. So for example, the ingredients, like this technology for disruptive technology for agriculture business, for example, or supply chain. So you see that, because we don't go by how many number of people, we don't go by that, yeah? So you look at that people, then you can summarize the top how many people, yeah? You remember the SLR just now? When I talk about SLR, they have inclusion exclusion criteria, right? So that they don't read 1,000 papers, yeah? So based on the inclusion exclusion criteria, you say like, I am only going to review paper for agriculture in China, for example. Agriculture in China, women. Yeah. So first you read the title, throw away. Exclude papers that, agriculture but not in China. We have inclusion and exclusion criteria. Then you read abstract. Throw away again. Yeah. Then only you got too many few, then you read those papers. Full paper. So you don't have to make thousands of paper.
I got it. Until your bullet is a title in the art represent the game flow, then I read abstract, then if some is match, I'll pick it.
Then you freak out. Then you read it.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
It is a clear thing. I don't do appreciate it. We still have time to best tweet. That's still the she had.
Good morning, professors. I'm from electrical engineering faculty, and the interesting thing is I'm also a lecturer in a college in a Chinese college. A few days ago, I make a workshop with some Chinese students about Chatgpt, how to do the research. So the question is, I find out the parameter is the name is temperature. In GPT, we can change the parameter is temperature. So my question is, do you have any advice for how to change the temperature? Is higher or lower? When to higher? When to lower? I know we can change the data through 0.1 to 0.9. So what's your advice?
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Actually, I had never used temperature for doing review. Yeah. Okay. But I use it for my research. I research for temperature. Okay. Temperature is like this in Chatgpt. Yeah. Okay. If the temperature is high, you immediate up to 5% with high temperature. I'm quite erratic. Or quite critic as well. Critic as well. I can be very creative. People with high temperature. I actually say that. So ChatGPT also like that, right? High temperature, very creative, very people that you cannot control. Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
With low temperature, we need that very stable one. I never play around with temperature for review, but so that I don't have the answer. One advice is you play around, and you find for yourself what is a good temperature. Okay, I am using the free one. You use big what?
But I also change a little bit in the temperature. Sometimes I want more ideas from GPT. I will check to high, but I'm not sure what temperature used in a review paper is better. That's why I'm asking.
Personally, I don't have an answer to that. I don't have answer because I never use it extensively. And yeah, it's a fault. The picture for this purpose now, for research, yes, because we are using the API, the ChatGPT API. Yeah, so you can you can pay. You can have a quick ChatGPT. Yeah, the fish allow for training, and then it allows you to use the newer version of ChatGPT. Right, USD $5 until your credit able to do it. Okay, so one and you have new $35. But I think with free one also you can get a lot with the free one. Yeah. Okay.
The vaccine.
Maybe I can explore it till I can try and then next time I have answer the second. Up to adjust the grade.
Okay, I believe we still have time for one more question, the last question. And how's it?
Top 2 and
So I'm Professor. I'm from the School of Analytics, and I'm in the 5th semester of my PhD study. I'm using ChatGPT when it started like a month ago, 2 months ago. Now I shifted to the paid version because I really need it for my development perspective. So my question is that whenever I make my research work, then I ask the ChatGPT to respond me on some questions and also ask for the citation. Most of the time, the ChatGPT gives me citation which is not even available on various databases like in Google, Wikipedia. What's your response on that? Why ChatGPT is doing this?
Okay, you because today you know about ChatGPT words, right? I thought we know how to calculate the probability of the next word. Yeah? Based on the probability of the word before it. Yeah? It's a transformer model. Yeah? And so, based on whatever is in the internet that you can find, with the 3 years, the 3 years of this. So it's possible that you cannot find, the reference that ChatGPT found, but we can find through our online database. But there are many ways. I advise you to go see what has been done. You are competing, right? I'm not considering faculty or this knowledge manager. I'm not sure the non-engineering, but you can, okay, but the engineering, the faculty that used to be under the faculty of engineering, we have knowledge managers, librarian. You can ask them, yeah? But for those faculty who do not have knowledge manager, you can go to the library. They have this, they have this advisor for you. Yeah? So you can ask these advisors to help you. Yeah? Find the paper. Many people I also cannot get from our online database. But when I go to the library, they have this network of librarians that can get to the paper. Many times I just use whatever I want. I don't know how, but they give me the paper. Maybe go into library note. Yeah. Into library note because it's paid for in your tuition fee. They get the library, so you can use the facility for free. They get it from British Library. Yeah, so get from there.
Okay, one more question. I'm lecturer in my home country, so they sent me here for study, and I'm doing my PhD. I personally feel, what will be the future of ChatGPT? I personally feel that it is going to replace me in 5 years.
So you about it is what ChatGPT, but I personally don't know because it can do a lot, right? Actually, to tell you the truth, I came back, from because I had consultation project for Ministry of Foreign for under the Prime Minister office, for sentiment analysis. Yeah. Actually, they have paid another consultant before me, but could be here. But they have proper people creating the lexicon, such to solve Malay language. Malay language should have, you have the slang, work through that, the slang, the patut sindiran, everything. But we solve it using ChatGPT. We create, the lexicon using ChatGPT, all the things, So if you ask me, I don't know what is capable of doing in the next 5 years. Even the logo, I used to ask people to draw logo for me. Now I can use AI to draw logo and so on. So, but I think that there are many things, like you said, we create human friend. I would, in certain things, emotional and things evaluate that ChatGPT will not be able to get that evaluate. But maybe in the future, I don't know. It depends on I work at programming. It can do better net. So I don't have answer to that. But as of now, I think we are better in many ways than the AI tools. Yeah, it's just like calculator. When first calculator was invented, or Google was invented, calculator we are scared, right? Kalau saya tanya, civic tak tahu pun. You work at studio, if you ask me the table, I don't know, 5 times 7, I forgot. I used to use calculator a lot. But when it's first introduced, the West teacher, I had no job in the future, because calculator is there, but still they have jobs, right? The basic fundamental is still ours. Yes, that technology cannot take. Yeah?
It's a second yeah.
I think that's what I said. But as a plan, it's called ChatGPT, so but we also want to see what it is capable of doing there.
And take Egypt.
let's give another round of applause for Prof. Naomie for sharing the valuable insights time quality newspaper. So, as a symbol of memento from TSCPI office, I would like to invite Dr. Roshanida Ibrahim to present token of our sincere appreciation to our distinguished speaker, Prof. Naomie. Please welcome.
I led with maybe one. You get that. And like I declared, I knew
Before we end our event for today, I would like to invite Prof. Naomie and all audience to take photograph for something to remember by. So how
right now 2 days. I'll be back to the same grade. This is the subject of the things that very with its embryo constituents that was part of this entire climate.
so if everybody could stay in your seat for what?
Well, the pot to up the next team therapy or here at the way to do it's what before that the people beyond the curtains I got the second number the breakdown. I should come out like the bigger of my ever region of company had made to silver board.
Okay, one more. Maybe you can use mid enough, show mid enough. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Wave. Thumbs up. Good. Thank you. Okay, this is intriguing.
Overall, I don't hit about kind of
As we wrap up this sharing session, we hope that you get a deeper understanding of the key elements of writing a great lyric and that you feel that predicting is theoretic fast. We encourage you to continue learning and exploring new thinkings to improve your writing skills. Finally, I would like to extend a huge thank you to our speakers today for making this sharing session possible, and to all of you for joining us today. We hope to see you again at a future event. So I end my duty as Pastor of Ceremony today event with Wabillahi Taufiq Bidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much and have a great day.